Welcome to Crashing Game Night. My name is Matt Diorio. I am joined, as always, by the beanied one, Gerard Barrera.
What's on and what's up, my friggin' nerds? What's going on, yo? Hey, how's it going?
Oh,
It's going to be that kind of a night.
oh man.
yeah. I got the mustache all ready and gussied up.
Mhm.
Boom!
Lions
Look
mate,
good.
Jason
man.
Belidio.
How's it going, guys? How's it going tonight?
What's up, big dog? In that beautiful, comfortable couch.
Yeah, always. It's another game night. Welcome to everybody.
What's going on?
How do you follow that up, Jason?
It's the couch, man. You gotta be relaxed. It's another game night. Crack open your drink of choice. I got a beer here. Jerry's got a Red Bull.
Ride
Matt,
the
you
bull,
probably
baby.
have a tea, iced tea.
You probably have your iced tea.
There it is.
There you go.
It is.
Iced tea,
Cheers,
baby.
guys.
Cheers.
Cheers, as always, So, how was the week, everybody? Here in the States, it's been kind of it's been a long week. The last 7 days for us.
I've honestly been doing nothing other than really like packing, but it's been kind of weird. Like, thank God, like packing has kind of kept me a little sane because I get that urge, like I should be at work. I've been off too many days. It's been weird. So I'm adjusting.
You're adjusting, huh? To real life?
Adjusting. Yeah.
Not being called like, hey, the night before, hey, I need you to go work.
8:00, I got a text. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I work tomorrow. Yeah. No, I actually have time, and I made plans like this weekend. It's weird. I made plans, and I can follow through with them. It's great. It's very nice.
It's
very freeing.
You made plans?
Yeah, I made plans.
That is weird.
Yeah, it is weird.
I
haven't been able to do
normal
that.
life or something, man.
Well, because my schedule was so weird with my old job because
the holidays.
No, not just the holidays, in general. Like Mondays, I had to wait until 5:00 because that's when they sent out whether or not you got in times. So at 5:00, they would send out your in times. So I would find out at 5 whether or not I was working, and if I didn't get it within the hour, okay, I guess I have Tuesday off. Tuesday, I have to do the same thing. I wait until 5. If I get a text, then that means I'm working. So I work Wednesday, and then I kind of gauge and see like how busy we are. And then I'll kind of see like, oh, I might be working the rest of the week, but it's not definite. So I still have to wait for the texts. So I couldn't plan anything. And it's just, I have a few normal C's that I can like actually do now. So yeah, like making plans has been kind of like weird. I can actually like follow through. Like, hey, can you meet Sunday? Actually, yeah, I can. Yeah, let's do that. Like,
and so you meet Sunday.
Yeah. So it's been cool. But yeah, it's an adjustment having the free time.
So Jason, how's the Costco life?
The Costco life's slowing down a little bit. After the holidays, it always slows down just a little bit. Other than that, we just got the new season's coming up with different products. So, if you're looking to buy some furniture, Costco's got furniture right now.
Yeah. Oh God.
So you know what though? I laugh at that, but there's been some good pieces of furniture that they've seen.
There's some legit stuff there.
One of the best gaming chairs I've ever had, and it wasn't in a gaming chair. It was a leather lounge chair. One of the best chairs I ever bought, and I've had for like maybe like 6 years. And it was the most comfortable thing I ever bought from Costco.
Nice, yeah,
nice. But I was going to ask you, Jason, are you so you're still seasonal? You're still in like the seasonal area?
No, I'm employed there. It's just like the
no. I mean the section.
Oh no, I'm in the Hardlines area, so like all the
Oh, okay, cool.
bowls, the cups, the housewares, and stuff like that.
Oh, sweet. I hated seasonal. Oh my god, I hated seasonal. It was terrible. Because the moment you mentioned furniture, I was like, oh my god, I remember those days. Because you always had to open one of each item because you needed a display, and then so that means you had to put everything together. It was so annoying. Oh god.
Yeah.
And then summer when you got the kids playgrounds, oh man, that took all day. It was terrible.
That's because you were busy playing with them.
Right.
Also, how I wasted time. Yes. Yes.
Jerry gets stuck in the slide.
Yeah. I got in trouble one of those days. Like, dude, you're really taking long. Like, I'm sorry, bro, but like, man, this is fun.
So, Jason, you wanted to start out tonight with a shout out. So
Definitely.
go ahead and
one of the people in the Tetris community passed away last week. Well, almost supposedly 10 days ago, but it was announced last week. Definitely a shout out to Jonas Neubauer, the 7-time classic world Tetris champion. Probably one of the greatest Tetris players, both in the community as a player and as a person. Like I'd watch his stream every so often as well. You know, he would give tips, and actually is from Southern California too, by the way, but would give tips out to like all the new players, like be really helpful, really friendly. But yeah, definitely a shout out to him. You know, the community lost a huge person, and definite shout out to his wife and all of his friends and family that are affected by it as well. But definitely just a shout out to him, because again, like me, Matt, both are well into Tetris and love playing it, and to see a person from that community, you know, pass, it's a little bit of a blow. So cheers to him, you know.
Cheers.
Yep. All right. So with that, so last week with us having a guest on, we didn't actually get to really announce something very new for us. You know, not only have we moved over to Twitch in the last couple of weeks to live stream and whatnot, and we retooled our opening and our endings for our videos as they're uploaded for YouTube, but we also now have new official music that did debut with the audio recording of the podcast, as well as the video recording. So for our live watchers and listeners, I want to go ahead and share that so everybody can hear it here. Give me a second to get that fired up. Share the sound.
It's got such an 80s feel to it. I love it.
It is.
Yeah.
And I would like to say that is our new official theme song. As was produced. It was produced by a good friend of our show, music artist Blazar, and it is courtesy of Anti-Fragile Music. So going forward, that's going to be our new music. We'll be having a new outro music that'll be coming here in the next couple of weeks. You know, Blazar's got, like, when he was on the show a couple of weeks ago, like he was talking about, he's working with Afro Man on his latest album and whatnot. So he's kind of busy. So I accept us being on the back seat, you know. But I want huge shout outs to Blazar though and thank you for giving our music, because it actually
thank you.
It fits us. We actually have something that really kind of fits us, because we are kind of we are nerds. We are 80s nerds. You know,
I was about to say, like, it totally sounds like the beginning opening of like an NES game. I love it.
Right.
Kind of, yeah.
And that's the thing is
right?
he wanted to do something that fit us, and he's been on the show enough with us, and I mean he's been friends with me for a couple years now and whatnot, so it fits us. So once again, thank you. And
thank you so much. Thank you.
So let's get on into the news. There's a lot to go over, guys. So for those fans of the MCU, there was 2 announcements this week. The first came out in the last day or so as a rumor, has not been really locked down and confirmed, but as of late, any of the rumors coming out of Disney and the MCU and all of that are generally proven true, i.e. Spider-Man. So actually there's 3, because Kevin Feige actually spoke on Spider-Man, and he's like, well, he acknowledged the stories, but didn't actually deny them, which we know with Kevin Feige is his way of kind of saying, yeah, it's kind of happening.
Like, you're on the right track.
Yeah, tongue in cheek. So that was with regards to Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire reprising their roles as their Spider-Man, because you've got, all the other characters coming back, right? You've got Doc Ock coming back, you've got Electro, you've got MJ and all that. So
Jamie Foxx, and they're all going to be alternate versions of themselves.
So but when you look at it though, it came out though that Chris Evans is rumored to be returning as Captain America for an MCU project. They haven't said what it is. Chris Evans kind of tweeted out today a little emoji going shrug and saying news to me, but we know how it is with NDAs. We've had enough actors on the show that they can't speak about anything until it's officially announced. So, you've got that. And then Kevin Feige did come out and say that Deadpool 3 will take place in the MCU.
Oh, yeah.
It will be rated R.
That's what we
Deadpool. I mean, I wouldn't.
Well, it's in the House of Mouse, though. I mean,
that's what that's what the fans were mostly worried about.
Yep.
Everyone knew that Deadpool was going to be part of the MCU because the Ryan Reynolds deal that he signed with Marvel was not RDJ height, but it was it's close, because I think they're going to use him in like multiple movies as Deadpool does in the comics, like a cameo.
Shows up randomly.
Randomly, or cameo,
randomly,
or like
sitting eating a churro or something in the
so like he's gonna kind of be I think they're gonna also use him as like the end sequence shows like that ties to another movie. They're probably going to use him for those too.
I do like the fact that they're doing it rated R and they're going to be doing it under the Marvel side of things, because with Disney, anybody that knows Disney, right, they have the Disney Picture side, and then they have Touchstone, which Touchstone handles all the risque rated R stuff. So I was hoping it would stay within the Marvel side of things and not be on the Touchstone side. But the other part of the announcement was Ryan Reynolds is overseeing the entire project, including the script and everything like that. So he's having a very big part in this.
Good. I mean, I wouldn't see a Deadpool movie like without it being rated R, just because of how the character is. Like all the jokes, all the dirty like double entendres, they're just it's so Deadpool. Like even the fourth wall breaks, like you got that's Deadpool, like you can't have like these like PG-13 and like kind of cut the joke in half or like try to soften the blow. It's like, dude, it's gonna be all up in your face,
I mean, could you imagine the opening to Deadpool 1 where they're showing him kind of in slow motion going between the different guys and all that? Could you imagine that as a PG-13 scene?
Yeah, it's gonna be like, what are you gonna do? Like, just you're dodging bullets. It's gonna be like a happy-go-lucky song, and it's just nothing happens. He just walks through. Like, what? It doesn't make sense.
You absolutely need that to be there as a rated R movie. So, and then the last little bit of movie news is that Amazon finally released a synopsis for their Lord of the Rings project. We know they're trying to do this grandiose thing, kind of like a Game of Thrones, but Lord of the Rings. So the synopsis read: Amazon Studios' forthcoming series brings to screens for the first time the heroic legends of the fabled Second Age of Middle-earth's history. This epic drama is set thousands of years before the events of Tolkien's The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings. It will take viewers back to an era in which great powers were forged, kingdoms rose to glory and fell to ruin, unlikely heroes were tested, hope hung by the finest of threads, and the greatest villains that ever flowed from Tolkien's pen threatened to cover all the world in darkness. Beginning in a time of relative peace, the series follows an ensemble cast of characters, both familiar and new, as they confront the long-feared reemergence of evil to Middle-earth. From the darkest depths of the Misty Mountains to the majestic forests of the elf capital of Lindon, to the breathtaking island kingdom of Numenor, to the furthest reaches of the map, these kingdoms and characters will carve out legacies that live on long after they are gone. So pretty much it is between, take place Second Age, and they're saying it's going to span a long period of time between the original Dark Lord Morgoth and the first defeat of his servant Sauron. So it sounds like, to me, they're tapping in a little bit of the Silmarillion too, from a story perspective. But hey, more power to them. I hope they can accomplish what they want to do. It's a tall order, and who knows how many episodes they've actually ordered to series, how long that's going to be, how long they're planning on it. But that's a long spanning story if they're going from Morgoth all the way to Sauron. I mean, that means we're seeing Sauron before he gets the ring.
I think it's just going to be too much. Like, I think they're going to try and bite off more than they can handle.
Really?
Yeah, dude. I mean, like, if you're going that far back, it's just going to be so much where you either have like one season and it's just going to fall off, or you're going to have like so many seasons that it's just going to be like watered down every kind of episode-ish. You got to make it interesting all the way through. And if you have like the forging of the rings or whatever, like, that's going to be a couple episodes, cool, but to do so far back, it's what's going to be in that middle position.
Well, they always could tie it with the Shadow series. That was during that time.
I know, but will that be a spin-off? Will that be included in this series? It's just, there's so much that you can do that it's so
That's
open.
true.
It's so open-ended. Like, what's the focus? And you can't have like 3 seasons of this arc and then a season of this arc and 4 seasons of another arc.
I kind of agree. Like, when it comes to those medias, like of TV shows or like even movies now, I think with any Lord of the Rings movies come out now, I think are going to be a bit of a gamble, because
definitely
I think because both franchises, both trilogies did so well and were done, even shot well, that anything other than like maybe novels or games, those mediums that I think have worked in the past, I don't see a TV show lasting very long, because more people just refer to the old characters and the original stories.
So here's the thing, is like, I agree with Jason. I think they're biting off more than they can chew with this.
I think it's going to be tough.
Because here's my thing is that when you look at those books prior to The Hobbit and everything like that, it is convoluted and very hard to read, even, especially the Silmarillion. That, I think that to Jason's point, right, you're talking about thousands of years of history, and you're going to try and incorporate that over the length of a series or a season or two. Even if it's like 15 episodes per season, right, that's still a lot. I mean, of history to
I agree.
And I fear that the backlash, if it does not go well, is going to be worse. it's going to be, the backlash that everybody had Game of Thrones season 8 and how bad that was. I think that's going to be child's play if they don't do this right.
Yeah, it's just you have such a, I don't want to use it, but it's like Star Wars. You have such a great start. You have a great, okay, like,
you know what?
this is the prequel, but if you do not do this correctly, you are just
think about it. Absolutely. Think about The Mandalorian, right? If that bombed and like did not go over well, think about the backlash that would have been with The Mandalorian.
Yeah, because then the Boba Fett like saga would be like super like, oh dude, not as interesting.
Everything that they did to like how they set everything up until this point, I think was masterful. Yeah, I can't wait for the Boba. It got me to like, I can't wait for the Boba Fett now.
But think of it this way though, like,
yeah, I mean,
think of it this way though, the Mandalorian is pinpointed, like it is on one,
it's a very like specific character
time, one right? specific mission time that they're focused on. Lord of the Rings are going to have 1,000 years. I mean, like,
really,
is every episode going to be like 25 years or something? Like, what are you going to do? Like,
yeah. Unless you're thinking, and I forgot who's putting this.
It's Amazon.
It's Amazon.
Yeah, Amazon Studios.
Maybe it's going to be their Game of Thrones. Like they're looking to do
even
10
then.
This crap.
So what, you're going to do 100 years per season? No, I think they would have been better served to do the time frame that takes place between The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings.
Yeah,
that would have been a much
they need to like
condensed.
Yeah.
Pinpoint. This is the time we're gonna look at, The Hobbit and what happens with the Kingdom of Man.
So in saying that, are you guys a bit concerned for the new Republic show that's like decades before the first trilogy of Star Wars?
No, because it's pinpointed. It's pinpointed. There's a certain time frame. Like
that's true. It involves certain characters that are part of the lore and people know about it. That is true.
Like the best thing that I can kind of like bring it up to is kind of like Walking Dead. Like The Walking Dead, there is a time frame, like from this, like let's say one literal season, like winter. What happens in winter? That's was one season, but that's literally 3 months.
Yeah.
One of the seasons was actually supposedly supposed to be done over the span of 2 days. And that is one season. It's super focused and super pinpointed.
Correct.
Yeah.
Where you can have all this action, you can have all this drama, but if you like go beyond like, a year later, like, wait, a year later in the show, like what the heck's going on? You can't like a war won't be finished in one day in Middle Earth. No way.
True.
No, there's no way. Whereas at least with New Republic, right, it is literally saying it's taking place at this period of time in the history of Star Wars. This is when it's going to happen.
And that's
we're going to go for 1,000 years.
They can't have it super broad like that and expect all the followers, like the people that read the books, maybe they might be like following guns blazing, but the people like myself who have read like maybe one of the books and just used like the whole movie and media as of how it's being told, that's where I'm like, yo, like, all right, I'm out. Like,
and that's the thing is, people know Gimli, they know Legolas, they know Aragorn rather. So I mean, I think they would have been better served doing the middle area and like maybe even telling the stories of how Aragorn became the ranger and fell from the kingdom. And
I was actually just going to suggest that, like, I would actually like to see Aragorn while he was traveling with the Dunedain Rangers, and then eventually like how he got his history with Legolas, because they were partners for a while.
Because that's the thing is they
went to war together.
Unless you've read the Silmarillion and the book or two around that era, you have no clue. you have nothing to tie yourself to. Where at least when they came out with The Hobbit, we already knew about Bilbo, you know, and his whole reasoning with the ring. Which is why I think it was really good that they went with Lord of the Rings first and then went back and did The Hobbit later, is because you established Bilbo and the ring. So now we're going to go back and tell the story.
And you have all of the same character, Gandalf, everyone.
Gandalf is, you know,
you can refer to.
You can start referring to those names exactly. So,
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see where they go with this. I hope for the sake of the Lord of the Rings and Hobbit community, the Tolkien community, that it goes well.
Yeah,
I hope so too, because I'm gonna give it a chance. I'm gonna watch it, but
you know, I'll give it a chance.
Otherwise,
I just hope it doesn't turn out to be.
But I do have my reservations about it. I agree with you guys.
Episode 1. It's going to be an episode 1 all over.
Mm-hmm. So, well, wait, episode 1 of Game of Thrones or episode 1 of Star Wars? Star Wars. I don't think it's going to be that bad, because here's the thing: is George Lucas had to set up an entire universe. I do not think Phantom Menace is the worst.
And first of all, I still think Phantom Menace was not the worst. It still had touches of George Lucas, his foreshadowing from his original work.
But I mean, like,
there were some poor character decisions.
As a prequel.
Poor character decisions in that.
As a prequel, in the context of, like, this is going back, like, however far. As a prequel, episode 1 of the 3. 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
Do you think that's the worst of the 1, 2, and 3?
No. Attack of the Clones.
No. Yeah. Because Attack of the Clones is a pure action movie. That's all. It's an action movie. That's all it is.
And I think it goes 3. For me, it goes 3, 1, 2.
Yeah.
For me, I think if you didn't have, let me put it this way: if you didn't have Darth Maul and you had some other stand-in Sith, so to speak, I think 1 would have been worse. I think what makes it better is you have the reemergence of the Sith, and you introduced
it was such a solid character, such a solid evil character. It was great. That is
still one of the best lightsaber sequences, I think, in all
of
definitely,
yeah.
Is that
absolutely
between Maul and Qui-Gon and
I think that's also the reason, because that was really the first time we saw a Sith, a separate Sith, totally do what the Jedis could do. Like, he was flipping around, doing spins. Like, we only really saw Jedi do that, jumping around or using the Force to manipulate.
But I'm bringing it back to, like, the point where, like, it's a prequel and it has to set the tone.
I think
which I think it did.
So I think it did. I think more the issues with episode 1 is the casting, because for me, I cannot stand Jacob Lloyd. I cannot stand Jake Lloyd.
But
young Anakin, I cannot stand him as an actor.
Not the greatest
kid actor,
No,
not the greatest in movies, but
not great acting. Well, first of all, characters, final characters that were allowed in the movie, and I do think casting was a problem. I agree with you.
But in all fairness, though, you don't watch a George Lucas movie for script.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, I mean, that's
in terms of his lines, he is a bad writer.
Oh, okay. So not story, so dialogue. Dialogue is his problem. Okay, yes.
Okay. Dialogue is his problem.
True.
So you don't watch Star Wars for a dialogue piece.
It's not Shakespearean. It's exactly. Cut and dry. Go through the well done story. Yes.
Exactly. So
yes, totally agree.
Yep. So we got more to talk about with speaking of George Lucas and Star Wars and Indy here in a minute, but so flipping sides and going over to the gaming side. This week it came out that Square Enix registered Ever Crisis, The First Soldier, and Shinra logos in Japan. So a lot of people are theorizing that Ever Crisis is going to refer to something with Zack because of Crisis Core. First Soldier, everybody knows that kind of references Sephiroth, really.
Yep.
And then the Shinra logo for the Shinra Electric Company. So I think they're prepping. I mean, they're starting to get everything kind of the media pieces together and registered the trademarks.
For part 2, you think?
And whatnot. Well, yeah, I mean, part 2 is honestly probably still 15 years away.
That's not funny. That's that was kind of scary because that's, you know what, dude, you made it real. That could be real.
That stings.
Yeah, but Square Enix, please don't take that long.
They're not.
Okay.
They're not.
But I still feel like I need to ask.
Because they're adding more stuff to it too, so that's come out this week. So I honestly,
Oh, wow.
I mean, in real honesty, I think we're looking probably 2 to 3 years out.
That was my guess. I was gonna ask like 3 years.
Reality, I mean, I joke that it's 15, but the way that they postponed the first one, they could postpone this one, especially that you've got 16 slated for the back end of this year. And it is the Final Fantasy 14 crew that is doing 16.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
We'll see on that. Now, the other thing that has come out is that Outriders, which is that kind of Destiny-ish type game that they are going with, has been delayed. This came out from the Outrider team this week, and it states, "Happy New Year. We believe it is important that players get to experience a new IP like Outriders before release, so you decide for yourselves whether the game is something you wish to pre-order, purchase, or play. For this reason, we're excited to announce that on February 25th, 2021, we will be publishing a free demo, giving everyone the chance to play the first few hours of the game with all 4 classes in both single player and co-op, along with seamless migration of your character and progress to the full game. Speaking of which, we've decided to move the release date of Outriders to April 1st. No joke. We will spend this extra time fine-tuning the game and focusing on delivering a fantastic play experience at launch. Thanks for hanging tight a little longer. We appreciate your patience, the Outriders team." So I want to say, I want to give them
bold.
Some props that they're putting out that kind of a demo for one.
Yeah, that's bold.
Yeah.
That's along the lines of Anthem. Anthem did something similar, but they didn't really have that transition progress from the demo into the real game. So pretty much you lost all your progress. So I think that's huge. But the fact that they're giving you the first few hours, I think that bodes well, because it is a new IP, and a lot of times you don't get, you're more skittish about a new IP, because if you look at what happened with Godfall, right? Godfall was put up on this pedestal that, hey, this is coming, and it fell flat on its face.
Because no one knew anything about it, and the only time anybody saw anything on it was a Sony commercial.
Exactly.
There was hardly anything on it. Like unless you're an avid go to YouTube and you research the game, but most people don't do that. They take it from a game trailer or something that they catch, exactly. And it's just there. I didn't see any of that until after it was already launched, really.
So Outriders looks kind of decent. I will try it out. I will absolutely play the demo.
Yeah.
I have
to check out more. I don't remember it that much.
It's kind of like a Destiny meets fantasy type game where you have magical powers, but you're also have that gun combat and whatnot. So it looked kind of cool.
But it definitely brings you back to the demo disc era, the try before you buy kind of thing, and it's actual first couple hours. The first couple hours, like that already just lets you put in the mood. Like, hey, this is interesting to me.
I'll at least try it. Yeah,
because the first if you get a 5-minute demo, 10-minute demo, you're not you're kind of interested, but not really, because it could be the best 5 minutes of the game versus
here, Jerry, I'll give you the I'll put this up for you.
Okay.
So you can actually see the trailer, and for our viewers that are at home, we'll go and get this. I'll share this with you guys, so you guys can actually take a gander at the trailer, in case you guys have forgotten what it actually looks like. Let me get it'd be nice if I shared the audio with it too, right?
Yes. Please.
Yeah, give me a second here.
Oh, dude, I love those Galaxy animated shorts. The Star Wars, they're awesome.
We awoke from one nightmare into another. Not on our dying Earth, but somewhere much worse.
Plus, this demo does give them a chance to like rehash it, just in case, you know?
Right.
Like, or if there
Very
was
nice.
community feedback.
Mm-hmm.
We came to Enoch as our last chance. A chance at
pretty.
a new home.
Yeah.
I'm always a sucker for a well done cinematic trailer. Like, it does look good.
Yes, but we know cinematics can fool the best of us.
Yeah.
It is.
We awoke
It's
to
very
I mean,
dependent.
I mean, look how
The
bad
anomaly
Cyberpunk was
unleashed
in the
within
end
us,
when that launched.
burning with power. Impossible power.
But this one looks pretty cool. I mean, from a squad combat perspective.
Yeah, it's kind of taking like a Destiny, like kind of putting it all together. A little bit of.
I'd say like, honestly, I would say like like a Destiny meets like a MIDI or a sci-fi like COD.
Enoch robs us of our humanity.
Which
That
makes
gives
me,
us so much more.
you know, question as well, because if
Each
it's
step
going to be
taking
one of
us
those
further
shooter
from what we
RPGs,
were.
like,
and
you
closer.
know, there's a few that are out there
to what
already
we must
that
become.
make it.
And you're
there
going
are
to have
few
to
that
do a
don't.
lot to get, to Jason's point, you're going to have to do a lot to get noticed.
There's got to be something new or something that's just, oh man, that's crazy, you know?
Yep.
Because at the moment it seems like it's a four-player squad at most.
I think it's 3.
3.
Yeah.
Well, because the 4 are at the door, that's why I was like maybe 4.
Yeah. All right. So
I'll definitely
that's
try the
Outriders
demo.
Theory, and
Yeah. Oh, it's
I'll definitely
worth
check it out. It looks
getting the
fun.
demo.
You know, we're always on the hunt for a different shooter to
which I think
to give us some variety.
we'll talk about it here in a minute, but I think we might have our new shooter here in a couple years, but we'll get to that here in a second. So, and another delay news, it did come out that Hogwarts Legacy, which is that one where you kind of build your own, you know, wizard and go through Hogwarts and all of that.
The action RPG, yeah, I can't wait.
That has been delayed until 2022 now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
as long as you get the game right with no bugs and like,
Yep.
people
Take
will
your
wait.
time.
People can wait.
Take your time.
You know,
Let's,
Final
make
Fantasy
sure the
VII
game is
took
good.
forever and a day, but people wanted it. There's no bugs. There's a little bit not what I wanted, but it got there 95% of the way. You know, and 95 is a like solid A.
So speaking
Not bad.
of no bugs and stuff, let's talk about Cyberpunk, because CD Projekt Red released a video kind of talking about the delays and stuff like that, and I want to play it for you guys and get your take on it, your honest takes. I think Jerry, you've kind of watched this video already.
I have not.
Have,
seen it.
yeah.
I have not, so I kind of want to
Yeah.
look at this and see their take.
My name is Marcin Iwiński and I'm the co-founder of CD Projekt. When I started CD Projekt 25 years ago, one of its founding principles was honest and direct communication with gamers. When CD Projekt Red, the game development part of CD Projekt, was born, it added something important to that principle, the ambition to make the best games in the world. It became our mission and something that guided us up until now. Based on that legacy of genuine and honest communication, you've trusted us and pre-ordered our game. And despite good reviews on PC, the console version of Cyberpunk 2077 did not meet the quality standard we wanted it to meet. I and the entire leadership team are deeply sorry for this, and this video is me publicly owning up to that. Please don't fault any of our teams for what happened. They all are incredibly talented and hardworking. Myself and the board are the final decision makers, and it was our call to release the game. Although, believe me, we never ever intended for anything like this to happen. I assure you that we'll do our best to regain your trust. Now I'd like to tell you how the situation looked like from the inside. Cyberpunk 2077 is huge in scope, and I'm not only talking about quests or things you see at first glance. I'm talking about a multitude of custom objects, interacting systems, and mechanics. In the game, everything is not stretched out over flat terrain where we can make things less taxing hardware-wise, but condensed in one big city and in a relatively loading-free environment. On its own, this is a challenge, but we made it even more difficult for ourselves by wanting to make the game look epic on PCs and then adjusting it to consoles, especially old gens. That was our core assumption, and things did not look super difficult at first. We knew the hardware gap, yes, but ultimately, I think that time has proven that we've underestimated the task. To give a concrete example, and the main culprit, we had to constantly improve our in-game streaming system for all-gen consoles. Streaming is responsible for feeding the engine with what you see on screen, as well as the game mechanics. And since the city is so packed and the disk bandwidth of all gens is what it is, it constantly challenged us. Every change and improvement needed to be tested, and as it turned out, our testing did not show a big part of the issues you experience while playing the game. As we got closer to the final release, we saw significant improvements each and every day, and we really believed we would deliver in the final Day Zero update. Now let's talk about the review process. We started sending our PC review keys in the first days of December. On launch day, December 10th, we hit the ground running with a really good start on PC. While not perfect, it's a version of Cyberpunk we are very proud of. At the same time, we're fighting for quality on all-gen consoles till the very last moment. And every extra day of us working on the Day Zero update brought visible improvement. This is why we started sending console review keys on the 8th of December, which was later than we originally planned. This all happened while working from home with all the challenges resulting from the COVID-related restrictions. A lot of the dynamics we normally take for granted got lost over video calls or email, and we took that hit too. Now I'd like to tell you about our plans for the future and present a path for Cyberpunk 2077 on consoles and PC. We have already released 3 hotfixes improving the game, but that's just the beginning. Our ultimate goal is to fix the bugs and crashes gamers are experiencing across platforms. Please expect bigger and smaller patches on a regular basis. The first update will be dropping within 10 days, and it will be followed by another, more significant one in the following weeks. We will, of course, continue to work on the game in future updates and improvements beyond that. Our big plans for supporting Cyberpunk in the long term did not change. As for the free DLCs, our initial plan was to deliver them just after the release, much like we did with The Witcher 3. We decided to focus on the most important fixes and updates first, and we'll be releasing the DLCs afterwards. Expect more information in the upcoming months. For those of you playing on next-gen consoles in back compatibility, you can still expect the free next-gen update for Xbox Series consoles and PlayStation 5 arriving in 2021. We are aiming at the second half of the year. I'd like to end this video by assuring you that we treat this entire situation very seriously and are working hard to make it right. The guiding principles of our company are still core to what we do. We still want to make amazing games and have an open communication with you, our players. For now, our immediate focus is to work hard on making sure you enjoy Cyberpunk 2077 regardless of platform. Beyond Cyberpunk, we have many plans for the future, which we'll share more about when we're ready. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video.
All right, so I get it. It was hard to watch because it was to me it was PR. It was total utter PR, and that should have come out weeks ago.
It was hard to watch for me,
Yeah.
just because of the amount of backpedaling that they're trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and on my take of it, like when he said, "Oh, like we had great reviews on PC," I'm not gonna lie, no duh. Like,
so here's the thing. Let's talk about that, right? He was saying they had great reviews on PC, and that is for those that are watching and that'll listen to the podcast when we drop it this weekend, is that they restricted console codes. They did not send them out until like day of for review. So they purposely hid what was going on the consoles.
Yeah, they knew what they were doing.
They saw it.
Yeah.
They saw it.
Mhm.
They know. Like
They knew.
And that's what we said, what we said a couple weeks ago is that we don't blame the devs. Okay, let's separate the issues, right? And we don't blame the devs whatsoever. And the devs shouldn't be the ones receiving death threats like they were. Ultimately, like he said, the issues or the decisions lie solely with him and the board.
Right.
It was a cash grab.
Even though the thing was, I don't know about you guys, but I didn't really hear an apology.
Nope.
It just sounded like more, like you said, PR, and it was just more of an explanation of where they're going to go from here and what their plan is.
Yeah, and it's
So I mean,
and we're going to work to make it right.
Yeah.
If you saw the timeline, just the timeline picture itself, like you're not going to get a quote unquote working game fully till like
next year, late
till
next year.
2022. You know, like I mean,
with all the patches and everything that it's gonna.
Cyberpunk 2077. You know, like I don't know if that's gonna be. It might be ready at 77. You know, like.
Here's my thing.
But
here's what I think is
if
you're testing things and you're running into that many problems with the old gen hardware, then the decision for me becomes very, very easy. You cancel old gen, dump your resources into next gen and move forward.
And just make it a next gen game.
And you just come out and you say, you know what?
Sorry.
When we started this
next gen
project,
game.
You know what? We thought we were going to be able to get it to run on these consoles. However, through our testing with the game design, we are not able to get this running stably on a PS4 and an Xbox One. So we were canceling that version of the game.
I love the hesitation. There's always a hesitation.
What hesitation? I'm just saying,
no, on Xbox, because everyone always has to think Xbox One X, Xbox X.
And I was like, seriously.
Always. There's always
Xbox
that,
One.
yeah, right? There's always that hesitation. I love it. Everyone does it. Even I do it.
But that's the thing, that they should have just said, we're going to cancel it. And I want to say I can guarantee it, but I can't. But most of the gaming population...
Cancel it for Xbox One and PS4
and Xbox
for the
One,
old gens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think most of everybody would have been completely understanding of that. And if they came out and were honest about it.
I still think they would have gotten a lot of backlash, but I think they wouldn't have been as bad or as legendary as this, because I think this was the worst release, I think, so far.
No, it could have been something where it's like, okay, this is what next gen console players have to look forward to, or like what they can be like, oh, check this game out. You know, it will drive the sales for both the Xbox speaker box or fridge and the PlayStation 5.
Yeah,
it will just boost that. Like, okay, like I need to get one.
And we do know that
Microsoft
did advertise the crap out of it.
Yeah, and like everybody on PC already knows, like, oh, like when I get it for PC, it's going to be like the bees.
Yeah,
you know, because like look at the 3080s that are out that are like going for $bajillion because they run the hell out of everything, you know. And how can you put like the 3080 in comparison to a PS4? Or a comparison to an Xbox One.
Really? Are you trying to compare? I mean, you can't compare those. That's like
it's like Mike Tyson getting into a fight with a 5-year-old. You know, like there is no chance in hell. You know, I mean, he wouldn't punch him, but I mean, like that's like that gap. That's the gap.
At that rate, you might as well compare it to an Atari.
Yeah, exactly.
That's pretty much what it is.
There you go.
Cyberpunk 2077 on Atari would be the same thing as running it on a PS4.
Exactly.
You know,
so
because there's just so much of a difference that they should have started with the PS4 version and then be able to upgrade upwards
and scale it up,
or just say, you know what, like let's not do it for the PS4. Let's just take a hit and just whoever has a new console, they will instantly get Cyberpunk 77.
Yep.
That's it. Like otherwise you have this fallout. you know, of like, oh, this game is just not ready. It is not done. It is terrible because I can only play like bits and pieces of it before it bugs out on me.
Exactly. So let's talk about some happier news, okay? Because I think we could keep going on and on and on and beating the dead horse that they screwed up. We know this. Everybody knows this, and I feel sorry for everybody that did experience all the crashes, all the bugs, and whatnot. So
it's just unfortunate because I'm still playing the game. It is a great game. It really is. But I understand. Everyone's frustration, and rightfully
everybody
so.
I know,
But
like Tony Polanco that was on the show, weeks ago, he even said there is a gem of a game hidden underneath all those problems.
Yeah, it's really good.
It is the greatest potential.
Honestly, instead of them
still playing it, like I see a lot of the potential in the game.
Yeah,
where like they can do a lot, but it just had a bad release, and it's going through what it's going through right now.
Here's what I think they should have done. Instead of going, we're gonna delay it and then delay it again, they should have just said, you know what, we're delaying it a full year.
I don't know. It's rough
because
it's rough to do as the company,
especially
because they probably did have to.
Oh, they probably had the money coming due on a lot of stuff.
That's probably why
the money coming due.
But at the same time, it's still, you still got to do what's right for your customers too, because these types of decisions can make or break any type of company. Doesn't matter who you are or what it is. So now let's talk about a good thing that came out this week. So Ghost of Tsushima, we all know that was my personal game of the year and stuff like that. It does take place on the island of Tsushima in Japan, including the locales and everything, including the shrines, are pretty much where they're at. So late last year, they got hit by a tsunami on the island of Tsushima, and the Torii Gate at the Watasumi Shrine was destroyed. So part of it is down submerged in water and everything, and they've been trying to figure out how they were going to repair it and stuff. So a crowdfunding campaign with their version of crowdfunding over there in Japan was started for repairs for the shrine, and it ended up raising 27 million yen, which is 500 it was 500% of the original goal.
27 million yen. What is that? 270,000.
That's not bad.
I
Yen to dollar.
think
So yeah, I mean it's Jason, you might be. What were you thinking, Jason?
270,000, roughly.
Okay, let me.
Because it's minus 2 zeros usually.
1, 2, 3. It was $260,000.
Yeah.
At the current
Roughly.
rate.
Yeah.
Roughly, but still, that's a lot of money raised. It's 500% of their goal. So it is going to help repair the gate and restore it back to where it needs to be. So a lot of those donations actually came from the Ghost of Tsushima community. So
Beautiful, man.
To those people
that's crazy, dude.
To those people that sit there and just look at games as just games for kids and adults shouldn't do it or anything like that.
No.
The gaming community is huge and has a very good potential, or a very big potential, to do good in the world, like raising awareness for disabilities and accessibility and causes and everything. And I think this is another prime example. You've got something that's a historical area in Japan that was damaged, and they're helping fix it. So applaud to the Tsushima crowd over in Japan. Tip of the hat to you.
That's
awesome. That's quite a thing.
I really do want to commend like a lot of the gamers out there, because like these are the things that we just had games done quick over their Twitch like just this past week, and like it always raises like $1 to $2 million, like roughly $2 million for Doctors Without Borders, and that $2 million does so much. And
absolutely, and just like
doesn't,
for us too,
doesn't have to be like, oh, like here you have to donate like hundreds of dollars. No, like these are people that are just selling $5, $20, whatever they can.
Real quick,
Mhm.
I just want to give a shout out. One, we've got Newman in chat, which we all know Newman.
No, man.
Yeah. Mhm.
But our friend down in the Great Down Under, down in Australia, Frank has joined us in chat to kind of hang out with us and watch the show. So he's the one that left us that voicemail a couple weeks ago where we answered what would we, that one game we would take to the deserted island with us. That we all answered and whatnot. So welcome on in, Frank, as always. So let's talk about some good stuff. So let's start with EA. There's a lot of times there's
how
a lot of good
Matt saying let's start with
EA.
some good stuff. Talk about EA. What's happening?
Yeah, let's look at EA. So first things first, they did announce some updates for Jedi Fallen Order, which, as a matter of fact, I was getting ready to start running back through another run of Fallen Order. I've gotten that itch. So here's the update that just dropped the other day. So what they're looking at is frame rates, PS5 and whatnot. So let's look at the actual specifics. So for console, for the Xbox Series X, so AKA, as we like to call them, the speaker box, they are going to increase the frame rate to 60 frames per second, which is up from 45 frames per second, and that's it. When we look at the mini fridge, the Series X, they're going to increase the frame rate up to 60 frames per second. The dynamic resolution is going from 1080p up to 1440p. When you look at normal mode with the non-performance mode, you're going to get post-processing is going up to 4K and dynamic resolution in the range of 1512 to 2160p. So that's going to be similar to kind of what they did with Miles Morales. Performance is fidelity mode. However, let's look at what they're doing with PS5. They're increasing the frame rate up to 60 frames per second. They're increasing post-processing to 1440. Now, this is the interesting thing is dynamic resolution is being disabled. And the game is going to render at 1200p up from 810 to 1080p. So I'm interested to see what that's going to do from a dynamics range. But hey, I like the fact that these companies are coming out with these updates to some of these popular games that people actually really love and allow us to enjoy them, in a better quality on the new consoles.
And also giving us an excuse to dust it off and play it again.
Yep. I was going to be dusting it off anyways. This just makes it even more so for me. And I was going to start, streaming it and whatnot. And
yeah, I think I might want to do that too. I really did love this game.
Yep. So now, in the realm of Star Wars and stuff like that, Lucasfilm Games had some announcements this week, and it's kind of nice to see Lucasfilm and Games together again, because it's been a while since they disbanded LucasArts, which was their video game arm, so to speak. So they did this little sizzle reel. To show some of their games.
Skywalker Saga.
Yep. Battlefront, Squadrons, Galaxy of Heroes.
Oh, they're mobile. Yeah.
Yep.
Execute Order 66.
Oh, what? That could possibly be DLC.
Red Group,
You're our heavy hitters.
You've done it. The tunnels are open. Get in and attack the station core.
And that's all third-party partnership stuff. So
Not bad.
when we look at that, right? So that's a lot of stuff and good stuff. Squadrons, I'm thinking about maybe diving back into. Jerry, I think I sent you the TikTok video. It's one of many where, because Battlefront is free this weekend, this coming weekend on Steam and stuff like that, they're putting out the call for all the Battlefront players to get on, and they think that all these Fortnite players are going to come over and try and play Battlefront. So they're like, we need to defend the Republic and show these Fortnite kids how to, how we actually play. But apparently Battlefront has been made,
I like that.
Battlefront 2 has been made into a very, very good game. From a lot of the things I've been seeing. So
it kind of had a similar bad rap as Cyberpunk, but not to the same degree.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, you're right. It took this long, but I heard the same. I was gonna say I agree. I heard the same things about Battlefront. Like, a lot of people are now really enjoying it. That it's actually quite fun.
And I've been
I've
been toying with downloading it again and giving actually giving it a run through on campaign and whatnot. So
I won't do it. I can't do it.
It's one
I played the first one, so I didn't really do the second one. So but let's look at this teaser trailer right here. This is for Indiana. It was announced this week that you have an Indiana Jones game coming out. It's being done by Machine Games, who did Wolfenstein Youngblood, and Todd Howard is going to be the executive producer on the game.
I feel like it's actually about time to have a decent Indiana Jones game.
We've never had a decent Indiana Jones game.
No, we have not.
Lego Indiana Jones, sir.
Well, yeah.
A legit, actual representing game. It's kind of sad we have Tomb Raider and Uncharted, and we still haven't gotten the father of that genre.
Mm-hmm. So the other announcement that came out that I am way more excited for is this.
Yeah. I heard a rumor about this, but I also heard that it's possible Star Wars 1313 might be coming back.
All the assets, I think, were all kind of disheveled and put away. That this is something completely different. This is a press announcement. So Ubisoft today announced its collaborating with Lucasfilm Games on a new story-driven open-world video game set in the beloved Star Wars galaxy, headed by Massive Entertainment, which the three of us, even though he's a trader and now playing it, hold on, we all know a game by Massive in Division 1 and 2. Ubisoft's critically acclaimed AAA studio based in Malmo, Sweden. The project gathers some of the most experienced, innovative talent in the video game industry and will make the most of Massive's cutting-edge technology, including the Snowdrop engine, to deliver a groundbreaking Star Wars adventure. The vast Star Wars lore is an incredible source of inspiration for our team, said Yves Guillemot, who is the co-founder of and CEO of Ubisoft. It's the beginning of a long-term collaboration with Disney and Lucasfilm Games, and we are pleased to be working hand in hand to build upon the legacy of Lucasfilm to create a game that we know Star Wars fans will love. Ubisoft has a unique talent for creating immersive worlds, so we're thrilled to work with them on this project, said Douglas Riley, who's the VP of Lucasfilm Games. We are inspired by the passion and talent of the team at Massive, and together we share a vision for the type of original stories we want to tell with our players in their expansive galaxy. or in this expensive galaxy. They have the creativity, experience, and community understanding to bring awe-inspiring authenticity, depth, and innovation to this new Star Wars game. In the Star Wars Galaxy and beyond, we work with the best teams in the industry to create world-class games that push the boundaries of the medium, said Sean Shapta, who's the SVP of Disney Games Interactive Experiences. Lucasfilm Games and Massive Entertainment together can create something truly unique for our fans across the globe. And this is, Jerry, what we were talking about before the show on, we know some of these people that are involved with this. As creative director for the game, Massive's Julian Garrity,
Damn, dude.
says this is a lore that we love and we want to do it justice with a game and story that bring both lifelong and new fans an immersive and an outstanding journey that will stay with them for years.
That's insane.
So with that, you know, we'll do the little teaser really quick that they did for
Congratulations, Jillian. That's awesome. Congratulations, bro.
So, you know, it was just this little teaser that they did. So this is twofold. So out of all the news, out of all of the stories that have ever been, you know, put out there as far as, hey, these are the Star Wars games we're doing, right? Everybody was very skittish about Jedi Fallen Order because of the history of Battlefront with EA. Mm-hmm. I am super excited for this. Mm-hmm. Beyond anything that they could have ever announced. And here's why. It is because we all know the Division. Jason doesn't know Division 1 because he didn't play it. He's new to Division 2. Jerry and I have played Division 1. We know the care and love that their team over at Massive puts into world design to the point where DC is almost a 1-to-1 replica of where the streets are, where the monuments are, everything. It's virtually a 1-to-1, including what some of the building interiors look like. I mean, they did so much with that I think, you know, they're going to bring that love to Star Wars, and I hope we're going to be able to see places like Hoth and Endor and Mos Eisley, you know, places like that have these really detailed environments. And then furthermore, we have, you know, friend of the podcast, Julian Garrity, as creative director. And we know, especially when we talked to him at E3, you know, when we were setting up kind of the interview we had with him.
Such a good dude.
Which, you know, if people haven't heard, you know, Julian speak, it's great how much he actually cares about his games and the games.
He really, you can tell that he's an old school gamer. Like he really loves what he does.
And I think he's going to bring that level to the new Star Wars game. Now, my only reservation is that twofold is, does Ubisoft let Julian and Massive do what they do and do it well? Or do they try and sneak in some Assassin's Creed type stuff, you know, and make it not what that team does? I really hope for Julian and Massive, they just let them do what they do.
I think the biggest hurdle is not actually Ubisoft and Massive. I think it's probably going to be the Lucas. I think that's going to be the bigger obstacle that they have to overcome.
I don't think so. Because look at what they've allowed with EA.
Right. I mean, Battlefront 1.
Ubisoft is going to do, the only concern I have, like one of the concerns I have with Massive and Ubisoft that I hope they learn from the Division and Division 2. Doing the 1-to-1 in the environment was great. Like Matt and I had a lot of fun in the Division 2, but there were some flaws. Like I honestly think the game would have been way more intense and fun if you were able to actually use vehicles. Because with a map that big, you would think it'd be a little bit more open worldy.
You're in a time after, you know, like it would be more open worldy if you are
So,
able to
and I
have
think
vehicles.
when you look at Division, right, and I would love to have used vehicles, but you look at how destroyed DC is, it'd be
Yeah.
hard to kind of use vehicles in some of that
Yeah,
structure.
but in situations like that, you could have been like,
Plus-
you can siphon gas, you can hot wire.
Plus,
Like
no, but
people
that
would be using creatively using
it
cars.
becomes resource though. If you think about it from the game perspective, it becomes resource, and like you don't want to have it be a farm game. Like it is already a farm game, being an RPG shooter.
True.
You know,
But I
like,
also would have restructured it a little bit. But getting back
But
to what
overall,
I'm
it's still a
saying,
great
it's still a great
It's still
game.
great.
But I'm just saying I felt like the game was missing a few things. Now, in
I don't
saying
think
that,
it is.
okay,
I
Okay.
honestly think
I get that.
it's as best as it can be. You know,
Oh,
obviously,
over it, and that's the thing is, Jason, you didn't play one, so you don't
yeah,
understand.
like
truly the
that's why there are a
QoS.
lot of things that we really wanted from 1 to 2, and then we really just didn't get it. But they streamlined a lot of things that worked for the game, the
So
second game.
Let's look at this, right? Okay, so here's the thing: is it's Julian Garrity and the A team probably a massive. So
Yeah.
assuming,
while
like,
we're
The only
talking
thing
about
I'm
Division,
saying
right?
is that when they announce that they're doing an open world Star Wars game, I hope that it's fully open world.
Oh.
Like you can customize your character, own a ship, customize your ship from what I'm hoping,
what
and
ship?
and
Like what ships? I mean, honestly,
Like,
are we looking
your
at the
own
full
ship.
history? Are we looking X-wings, A-wings, Millennium Falcon?
no,
the
I'm
White
talking
Sea
like
Falcon?
a Razor Crest type of ship. Like have your own ship if you're
Okay.
going to be an open world, something like that, or at least
Yep.
like a ship to go from place to place in the map.
Mhm.
That adds another
like-
layer to it.
kind of like
fast
Destiny.
travel, sir. It's going to be fast.
Maybe
travel.
like or fast travel, or
It's
even
more
like
than
maybe
fast
they can
travel.
incorporate that you actually get into battles with your ship. That'd be fun
So,
too. Kind of like
kind
an
of-
like an
Jared, what
Assassin's
are you
kind
Creed
trying to do?
classes?
Are you
test.
trying to make Cyberpunk 77 again? What the heck, man?
No,
Like,
I want what
Hold on.
all Star Wars fans have wanted for years, and that is an action RPG
everything under
where
the
you
sun,
can create your character,
the kitchen
but
sink.
also have a ship that's your own and that you can customize.
Cake and eat it too.
Jason.
Actually have it be an open world.
So Jason, really quick though, you ask him if he's making another Cyberpunk. Difference is they'll actually release a game that actually works on day one. I mean, no, but
Like-
here's the thing though, is I think though,
How old is that joke now?
right? But no, here's what I think though is I think though what they need to do is I would hope that when you go to cities like say a Coruscant, right, that it is on the level of detail that is Cyberpunk, that is Division, that it is
My
that
my
monumental.
grasp is like no Grand Theft Auto 5. I want it to be a working city when you visit. Like when I think Ubisoft and they're saying open world, I would like the thrivingness of GTA 5, but action RPG.
Okay, can I expand on that?
Yeah, go ahead.
How many cities are in GTA 5?
If you cut up the entire map, like 3 or 4.
Okay, so
It's one giant city though. It's
giant
LA.
city.
It's one.
One
Yeah.
giant city cut up into, let's say, 4. I'll even give you the benefit of the doubt and go like have that whole city one map. There's
Mhm.
a lot of detail in every street, correct?
Mhm.
Now, if you want to do that for Hoth, for Endor, for Coruscant, for like Moss, like that's 4 maps that you're going to have to that level of detail, right?
Yeah.
Now, how big are those 4 going to be?
I
True.
would say
Like
I would want it.
I'm seeing it as
Give me KOTOR.
like
Give me Knights
I'm
of the Old
tr-
Republic level.
Or I'm
of,
also thinking like
size of cities.
I'm thinking like Mass Effect.
I'm thinking as a player that's playing like a lot of different MMOs, like Final Fantasy 14, for example. I'm just giving it as an example. It took 4 expansions, and there's like 5, 6 major zones. So you have to you need to build it.
Yeah.
Like
Okay, so build
consecutively.
it.
But you can't have the kitchen sink in the first game because one, for them as like monetarily,
Mhm.
they're done. It's the game is boom. There's all the money.
That's true.
So like if you have an expansion of Hoth, if you have an expansion of Coruscant, if you have an expansion of other worlds that you can fly to with your ship, when an expansion comes out, if there is an expansion, like you gotta be able to put that money every $70.
Yeah.
Boom, 104, 210 just in this circle. already.
I'm saying, but I'm speaking in a larger scale.
Well,
I agree with the one map. I agree. But the thing is, I am just explaining to you of years of Star Wars fans have wanted an action RPG from what I have described.
Yeah, and but
Like
you
everyone,
can't have the kitchen sink, sir. You can't have the cake and eat it
No.
too.
No,
And-
but they can
I
go in
think
that
we're-
direction and slowly build. I agree. Once again, I didn't say I wanted all of my cake and eat it. I was explaining what Star Wars fans have been wanting
Absolutely.
for years.
Okay,
We want KOTOR
but so
on a
the
bigger
first
scale,
game,
which
the
I mean they're
first
doing
game.
they're doing
Which I am
Knights of-
fine with
Knights of the
starting with
Republic
one map,
online.
but
Yeah.
have it be that action RPG that we have wanted, not like
Mhm.
an RPG. Like Knights of the Old Republic was great for its time. I didn't enjoy it because once again it wasn't really open world and an action RPG. But action RPGs weren't big back then. Now that they are,
So you want
this is what we kind of want.
so
Thank you,
want
chat. By the way, thank you.
Final Fantasy VII remake in a Star Wars universe. So basically, take the Buster Sword and sub it for a lightsaber.
Not to that degree. Not to the action of Final Fantasy.
Why not? I mean, Jedi's are that acrobatic. They're that fast. They have the Jedi speed to just duck out of the way really quick. But it'll be interesting to see what they do with it.
Yeah,
I have all the faith in the world with Julian. You know,
I do too.
have
And
faith
I'm-
in
his
it
games
that it's
and
I'm
gonna
talking
be
with
like-
him.
extremely excited for it, and I really hope it does well.
I have faith in him as well. You know, just based on what I've seen with Division 2. You know, I don't think it's going to be like insane. It's going to definitely be a 6-month game that you're going to enjoy, that you're going to be able to play with friends. And then
Here's my one wish.
Depends on that. It depends on how they do from the 6-month
Mhm.
point.
Here's
Depends
my
on the
one
success.
wish for the game is that unlike Final Fantasy 14 and Division, is that it is not online dependent in order to play it, like Destiny and stuff like that. I hope that it is a game you can go out and enjoy on your own,
Yeah.
or B, there is a multiplayer component
some-
to it
or
that you can
multi-
go
yeah.
off and do something. But I think it needs to be offline.
Yeah. I
Because
think it needs to
that,
follow Red Dead
for
2.
me, that is.
I
what
would
keeps me
also
from-
go as far as Ghost of Tsushima, but Star Wars.
There you go. It has that Legends piece of it that is the online component.
But
And
I
I
would
think that
also
would be
say
perfect.
game wise, but incorporate speeders and ships.
Do you realize how much I would still be playing Division if it was offline?
Oh yeah,
I would still be playing the crap out of that game, but I just don't have time to play an online only game. I really don't. So that's kind of where we're at. So, Julian, you know, we wish you the best of luck and
good luck. Oh yeah, good luck because it's
hopefully
it's
we can have you back on to talk about the project. And what
Yeah.
you can within your NDA. So,
Yep.
Yeah.
So since we haven't been able to talk about it in a couple weeks because we've had guests, you know, the Tessa reunion and Michael Rossi on last week. So I'm gonna start. You know, let's start with Jerry. What have you been playing lately outside of losing at NBA 2K21?
Oh, shut up.
Hey, the video is on Twitch.
Obviously COD with you, but Still knocking away at Cyberpunk. I'm almost done. Yeah, 2K with you, and I've started up Sackboy because you kind of got me back on Sackboy, and I've been
it's fun.
kind of knocking away at that. It really is. It's just very pleasant, and it takes my frustrations away from Cyberpunk or basketball.
Jason needs to get Sackboy, and then we can all play.
It really is a lot of fun.
Okay, let me just get my PS5 out from.
No, it's on PS4.
Yeah, it's on PS4.
Cross-platform. PS4
Yeah.
and PS5 can play together.
Huh.
Go to gameplay, bro. Get it used.
And then when you get your PS5, you can get a free upgrade from the PS4 to PS5 of it.
The
And just to
PS5
reiterate, I was once again a good friend because I informed Jason about possible PS5. When I was visiting
PS5, how to get a PS5.
How to get a PS5, but I thought there were in stock when at a Best Buy that I was visiting. So,
but it became to how to get
once again,
it's okay. Jesus,
redeemed.
Yeah, no, I am. It is fine, dude.
I swear to God, it's gonna forever haunt me. Like
it's not gonna haunt you.
You didn't give him a call.
It hurt because like I could have had one day one as well. That's the only thing.
Oh, see, I honestly didn't know that. I didn't know the situation. Like, were you able to get one at launch? Yeah, I just didn't.
No, it's okay. It's okay, man. No, we're beyond that now. Like until Final Fantasy 16 or Horizon 2 comes out, like I'm kind of like I can wait.
So, Jason, what have you been playing?
Not that much actually. On the last trial in Phoenix Wright. Been doing that. Been watching a lot of just random TV shows, browsing the internet.
Hey, Jerry, really quick.
Playing
Newman says the balance is slowly shifting, but it's not enough, Jerry.
It was very funny.
Playing
very funny.
Some Division 2 with the coworkers, doing some raids, and, Final Fantasy 14. Actually jumped on Soldier's server, so I'm kind of starting a new character on.
Oh yeah, you told me that.
Yeah,
that's fun.
Shout outs to Soldier and the ranks of Soldier out there too.
He's slowly.
He's almost done.
He's almost a partner too.
Well, I mean, he's almost done with the full story, and he'd be at the very end. So,
yep.
Yeah, Soldier first class.
He's thinking he'll do it. He's thinking he might do it tomorrow night. Actually, is finish it off.
Probably. He is
really nice.
He's just right at the end.
Oh yeah.
That's cool.
He has shifted away from doing Final Fantasy VII content because of the toxicity in that community, which
good for him.
I will always applaud mental well-being over sticking with something because it's ruined a love for him, and now he's found his love again for Final Fantasy and Final Fantasy 14. Same with Night Sky Prince, who kind of did the same jump with him. So
definitely shout outs to the ranks of Soldier out there.
Hey, Soldier's gonna be on in 2 weeks.
Oh yeah, my man.
And honestly, it's going to be interesting because we are going to have Madam M on with him, and we need to talk about the discussion about him ditching his favorite lady, Madam M.
I feel he will always be the Madam's bodyguard.
Well, here's the thing though. Mallory saw it on Twitter that he changed off of Madam M's bodyguard into something else. So,
oh no.
So we're gonna. I'm gonna stir that pot.
Drama for your mama.
But so
drama, mama, baby.
Yeah, Matt. What have
you been doing, man? Well, even though I know how part
a little bit of it. But I haven't had a ton of time for gaming because a lot of it has been getting all of this stood up for us the last couple of weeks with.
It's trouble for your mama. Right? That's right.
But no, been playing some COD, Also, tried out a little Apex Legends this week to kind of just see how it is.
Nice.
because with COD, we are always looking for something else to kind of play and whatnot, and we all know we didn't get Cold War at all. We decided not to buy it, but yeah, there's been that. Jerry and I started streaming NBA 2K21 this week.
Who won?
So far it's been Nuggets Lakers, and I've won the 2 games we've played so far, home and home. That being said, though, there was a time last night when we were playing, I
got my bearings back. The first game was awful. First game was bad.
Yeah.
First game was bad, man. I was just getting back used to the controls, and then but the second game, that was a nail biter. Like I feel like you and I are matched pretty well.
So
when we have the controls
game,
down,
it was a nail biter. It came down to, Jerry got it down to the point where he took the lead at one point.
Yeah.
And then
but I lost it the last 2 minutes of the game where you branched out.
And then it was a
good game.
And then down the stretch, it was an onslaught of threes.
Yeah.
It was a barrage that once I started dropping the threes.
It was bad.
He couldn't come back. The lead was too big.
Yeah.
So, but there's, been some more Animal Crossing, of course.
Nice, yeah.
I started playing Ace Combat
but
again.
It's fun.
I'm
looking forward to some of the footage, man. Ace Combat looks good.
I fired up 5 Unsung War, which is one of my favorite Ace Combats. So started working on that again. I will fire up 7 as well and start streaming that a little bit, because 7 is so beautiful.
Yeah.
With those jets and whatnot. So, but yeah, that's all I've really been playing lately. And I own Sackboy, of course, and I do need to finish off Spider-Man, Miles Morales. I'm about halfway through on the second run, so I've got just to finish the game, 100 hit combo, and to finish off 50 ceiling takedowns, and then I've got the platinum for it. So
nice.
Yeah,
because of the move, I've packed all my games and stuff, but I have my little pile of the games that I'm gonna knock out when I
if you were digital only,
move back,
you wouldn't
and
have to worry about that. You have all your games.
No, it's okay. It's not a burden. I'll pack them very neatly and safe.
Exactly.
Fine. I prefer my physicals.
Yes, hell yeah, Jerry.
Right, Jason?
Hell yeah, physical copy, man, and not the
digital.
not the greatest hits.
Not the greatest hits.
I don't want that different
terrible
colored box.
I don't want that box. That's an ugly box.
It's ugly. It's ugly.
Anyway, so yeah, for all of our viewers tonight, thank you for absolutely hopping on with us live and crashing game night with us tonight.
Yeah.
For all those listeners that are listening to the podcast, once again, absolutely.
Thank you guys so much for listening.
Thank you. We
and
would
your
not
comments.
be at this point being live on Twitch without your support over those last 2 years. So very, very much thank you. And if you're new to listening to the podcast or watching on Twitch, please, guys, if you like what you heard, please hit that follow button or subscribe to us on Twitch. Follow us on the platform of your choice on audio, whether that's iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, Audible, Pandora. And also, if you want to be part of the podcast, absolutely join us live when we're doing these. We will take some of those comments that we see in chat. Just that the fact that Newman, case in point, just said one thing he actually can agree with Jerry on for something.
I'm guessing physical
copies.
You know what? Also head over to the website, crashgamenight.com, if you want to leave us a voicemail. Like we were talking about with Frank from Australia, we answered one of his voicemails just a couple weeks ago. Leave that right on the website. So as always, guys, be excellent to each other and stay frosty.
That's right. From frost, you come to the sun. What's up, my nerds? Thank you guys so much. That was stupid, but still. That was dorky. I'm going to work on that one. That was a bad improv. But thank you guys for joining us, all of my fellow nerds. And once again, the fight goes on. I know right now we've got some some tough political crazy things going on right now, and I think that's taken precedent. But stay vigilant, be safe. There's still pandemic going on. Wear your masks, and once again, in lieu of everything, still show some support for Time's Up, Black Lives Matter. Any way you can, just show support and stay safe. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, definitely shout out to everybody out there listening to us, watching us. It is always going to be a good night every time you crash game night with us. Slowly we are aiming to get back to normal. Hopefully everybody that's out there that is able to get a vaccine can get a vaccine. But aside from that, if you are in any war zones, especially around the East Coast, be safe out there.
2 hours south of it.
Yeah, just be safe out there. Now is the time where we have to actually band together to be good, excellent to each other, as Matt says. And it's a lot harder to do because of the way that people are thinking right now. Just definitely stay safe. That's the most important thing. Too many people have died for a plethora of reasons, whether it be sickness, fire, earthly disasters. We don't need more blood on our own hands. So please just stay safe. We can see the light. We can see the light.
Almost there.
There is hope.
There.
We just got to be patient and vigilant and still be safe.
Absolutely. So, Jason, go ahead and send us on out since Babyface ain't with us.
By the way, shout out to Theo. He couldn't make it tonight.
We miss you. We miss you tonight.
We love you, but I'm still your spotlight because everybody. Thanks again, TTFN. Ta-ta for now.
Night, everybody.